Hello everyone, here is Philip from Fira Digital Art, and in today's introductory video, the first video I can say on the Legend of King Arthur game environment challenge that is currently held by ArtStation. And in today's video I'm going to talk about what concept I chose for this particular challenge to work on and to create actual game environment for production. I posted the first update, I think it was 10 days ago, and I posted the first date on which concept I'm going to work on, and this is this one, and it's called Tentacle Castle, and the concept is made by Corinne Viette, if I'm correct of her name, and yeah, I pretty much choose this concept, which is awesome. Also, I'm gonna put a link to her portfolio in the description if you wanna follow her, because she has a pretty much nice artwork there, so you can check it out. I choose this concept on the very first sight, I can say, because it looks very interesting, and I'm gonna show you a couple of images of this concept. This is the main image, and yeah, let's go to the upper side. Yeah, here's the final submission of hers. Yeah, the whole castle, it's on this very tall cliff, and it's pretty much very difficult to be taken from the sea and also from the land, which is very protected. And it's about the Tintagel Castle, the birthplace of King Arthur, as they say. Yeah. And I like the concept because there is a lot of these breakdowns. You can see the castle from a lot of different angles. I like this one because it looks like some kind of map of the city and pretty much helps you where the buildings need to be placed. Also, she created some kind of Merlin's lair. Yeah, and she says that this some kind of layer is going to be placed below the city, somewhere here in these cliffs, I suggest, like that. And also she had a couple of these assets that are used for creating this environment, how the doors are looking, or these pillars, this magical bowl and all that stuff. And I like also this map of the rooms inside of it. It's pretty much interesting concept. It has a lot of stuff in there, and it pretty much gives you a lot of ideas how the concept should look like in 3D environment, I can say, but also leaves you a lot of space to to add some things that are not presented in the concept. Like give you a lot of space for these buildings. Yeah, there is not specific buildings presented. I mean, she has some of the images on her portfolio provided, but yeah, it pretty much still leave you a lot of space to create the buildings. How should they like in that era, or maybe how you are visualizing them to be. So pretty much good. Also, the main thing is that the concept should be matched by these towers and walls. This is the only thing you can pretty much see very good, and you can match those buildings, but inside of the city could be pretty much created differently. Yeah, you can add a lot of different small props to the scene, which is good, like some barrels, or I don't know, some wagons and all of that stuff. Yeah, which is good. And also you can improvise on these cliffs, because yeah, this is just some part of it, and you can improvise all this stuff there. Also here, the vegetation on these cliffs, you can change all of those stuff, and that's why I like this concept. It leaves you a lot of space to improvise, but on the other side, it looks pretty much good. So the main idea of the castle could be matched pretty much by the concept and all this cliff, and this particular cliff, and then all the other stuff you can change by yourself. You can see what should fit with this castle and all that stuff, and its environment. Yeah, and pretty much like the concept. Also explore a little bit of that Tentacle Castle that exists in real life, and here is where it is placed. Yeah, here's the Tentacle Castle. It's basically on this huge, I can say it's pretty much like, if it's not connected here, it could be named island, but yeah, it's some kind of cliff connected to this main part. And also, Tentacle Castle starts from here and goes through there, and this is the main part, I think, of the city, as I understood it that way. But surely this is all Tentacle Castle, and yeah, it's all only ruins today, but you can pretty much see the visualization from the sky, how it looks like from the bird perspective. Yeah, this is Dindigal Castle, and I also, yeah, went to a lot of these images to see from close up. It has a very high cliffs, and that should be the main, I can say, reference for this project. You see these cliffs. Also, as I see here, very close to the cliffs, there is a shallow water. Yeah, it's very shallow, and you cannot go near the castle with the ships because you're gonna sink. You're gonna hit in this different cliffs and yeah, sink your ship. So it's very difficult to attack it from the sea, but also it's difficult from land. You see how these cliffs are very high, and it's difficult to reach them. So in particular way, it's difficult to reach the castle. Also, this is a couple of things, but this, I can say, in ruins cannot help you a lot to rebuilding the castle and how it actually looks, but you can only fantasize how the castle looks like. Yes, and pretty much I also want to say something about the concept, which is very interesting. I think it's also done by this real thing, because as you can see here, but it's a little bit changed, yes. The castle is here on this, I can say, unreachable cliff, which is very difficult to come to it, and you can just come to it by one way. And also this, in this concept, is also presented the same way, because you can only come to this cliff by one way, and that's here. And I think there's another image here that shows better, yeah, from different angle. Yeah, you can come from this way only, and you cannot climb through here. You cannot attack from the sea. You can only come to the other part and then come from this way. So it's pretty much difficult to take this city, and that's how the concept. I think the concept is pretty much based on this. Yes, on this cliff, it looks totally different, but the point is the same. It's very difficult to come to this place only from one way, but that's a long way, I can say. Yeah, to reach the main part of the castle, and that's how it's the same here, and pretty much like the concept for that. Yeah, the first thing I'm gonna do in this concept is to pretty much match with this reference here. I have this, yeah, I can call it some kind of map of the city, but I just want to upgrade it and add the map of the environment, yeah, where all the mountains and cliffs, where the water is going to come from, and all that stuff. I'm gonna try to represent it through some kind of map. I think in production of game of level art is called paper maps or something like that. Yeah, it's some kind of map. You have this legend, what parts are what they're presenting, and all that stuff. So pretty much like that. But that's the first thing I'm gonna do, just to see the environment, to have the actual visualization and idea of where all the environment and vegetation is going to be placed based on where the city is going to sit. Yes, and also based on this concept here. Yeah, and the next thing after that, I'm gonna start to create. I'm gonna start to create the environment. I mean, the cliffs. Yeah, all of this stuff, just to see the base of this concept, and the base is this landscape, I can say. And then later I'm gonna import that into Unreal Engine. I'm gonna use Unreal Engine for this project. I thought about using Unity, but from the other side, yeah, I think I pretty much like the Unreal Engine, because you get a pretty nice graphic from the very beginning without tweaking anything. Yes, and you can later also tweak, but in Unity you have to do a lot of things. I don't know, that's my experience, but yeah, maybe somebody else thinks differently. And that's gonna do it. So import that, see how it looks like, and then I'm gonna block out the city on the cliff just to see how it's going to look like, the proportions, yeah, the scale of all this, and then I'm gonna later start creating the assets for the environment, and yeah, placing them instead of those just block out elements, and slowly start to build the castle. Later I'm gonna add the insides of the castle, yeah, all those houses and all that stuff. Yeah, it's gonna be on, and when I finish the castle I'm gonna start adding the vegetation, because if I start firstly to add vegetation and then start to create this castle, I don't know where exactly the castle is going to be. So yeah, I want to place also the vegetation based on the roads that are going to go through the castle and to the castle. So there is a lot of bunch of things. Yeah, then I'm gonna do, I can say I can do that the last thing I can do, just to that's going to be like some finishing touch for, yeah, for the environment. And also the nice idea should be like create a bird in 3D and then yeah, place them like here. It will be very nice detail, and I like the detail. Yeah, those birds are giving a little bit of atmosphere and more dynamic to this. Yeah, it will be like if there are no birds in this concept, it will be like so empty here. And yeah, on one side you have a filled area with castle and all that stuff, and that pops up, and then on the other side you will be so empty. And I like this detail. Yeah, it's great, and I think I will add the birds if I have time to create some of them to the scene. It's interesting. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the introductory video. Yeah, there's a lot of things I'm gonna explain in future videos, so I think that's enough for this video. Thanks for watching, guys. Also don't forget, yeah, before I leave out, don't forget to yeah, like, share, subscribe if you want to see more of this video is interesting, and catch you guys in the next video. Bye.